What am I trading? This is NASDAQ futures. NASDAQ futures. Yeah, hoping so, Amber. We'll see. This since about 7 o'clock this morning, or 7:30, this has just been terrible. Hopefully that bodes well for the session. We'll see. What's up, Sam? How's it going? Arthur, what's up, man? Bro, do you even catch any trades? Never seen you execute. Yeah, man, I'm actually a real trader. I'm not one that trades on a paper account and throws a bunch of different, bunch of different bullshit positions on my chart that just happen to be perfectly executed 50-50 or 20-20 hindsight trades. TikTok's got you guys confused about what real trading looks like. So yeah, I made about $1,100 yesterday. And it's on my story. If you actually followed me, you would see that I did take a trade yesterday and posted it to my story. But thanks for stopping by. Both. Doing great, Dakota. How you doing, man? Do you use the fib? Yep. Gym before or after trading? After. I'm a afternoon workout kind of guy. Zach, what's up, man? Be interesting to see if we invert this 1 hour gap here after we just swept this London low. Can't get motivated if I don't move immediately in the morning. I go for a walk first thing, get my blood flowing. I definitely get moving. But I just don't hit the gym. I like to have a couple meals in me before I work out. Otherwise, I don't feel like I have enough not energy, but I just don't feel like I can hit it as hard. So if it passes the FEG and continues to go down, do you go short? No, that's not necessarily how it works, man. Yep, same here, Zach. Waiting for 9:30. What trade did I take yesterday? I took a short, continuation short around, it was exactly 2:02 p.m. So let's see. It was right before this reversal. Was it on ES? Might have been ES. It was right in here somewhere. Shorted it down to a London low that we had, a previous London low. It was NQ. Yeah, we had this previous London low here. So we had this previous London low. I got in up here and then rode it down to the London low. Got out right there at 2:02. What's up, Christopher? How's it going, man? Jim paying off, man. Appreciate that. Do you catch a trade at exactly or around 9:30? Not necessarily, man. Not necessarily. I just wait for the market to open and figure out what direction it's trying to move in, and then we try to look for a setup in that direction. Can I show you how to use the fib? Yeah, I mean, there's different ways, man. I have different presets, but right now what I'm using it for, it's not necessarily, I don't know if this is necessarily the fib, but I use the fib tool for this. I'm using this for the daily candle for the previous day. So 50% of the previous day candle is a pretty interesting point usually. As you saw yesterday, we had this marked out. So price coming up and bouncing off of this previous 50% would be interesting. If we were to push through this 50%, most likely it's not going to then reverse after that. It's going to continue higher. So that's kind of a way you can use it as a confluence. But there's different fib settings that you can have. Like I have different templates. Like you can use like T-Trades has his set up. Where did that just go? Maybe I don't have it saved. There's different fib settings that you can use. The legitimate default fib is one of them. But this is how I use it right now. Hunter, what's up, man? On TikTok, you're not seeing the chart? You can't see this? What am I trading right now? This is NASDAQ futures. Chaz, you asked how much are Apex accounts right now. Today's the last day, I believe, of the 90% off. Right now, if you use a code, a 50K account should be around $19 per account. Probably the cheapest you'll get anytime soon. I don't know when they'll run this 90% off again. Enjoying the retired life. I don't know why I've just been so tired. You need to sleep, man. Code is, you can use my code CWT. Am I thinking on direction? Not sure yet, man. Not sure yet. I'm feeling bullish, but we'll see. We shall see. Inverted this 1 hour. Not always, Rocky. That's not the, like, I don't use just one, I don't do a univariable analysis, meaning that I don't just use one confluence to take a trade. Like it's a nice supporting confluence. If we have determined that the trend is in a bearish direction, and we're looking for a continuation short, like right now, I don't want to take this short because we just swept London low. So ideally, what we'd want to see here is a V-shaped recovery out of this. This 1 hour gap kind of throws us off here with a potential bullish setup, but you'd want multiple different things to come together in order to justify taking a trade. You don't want to just use, oh, we inverted a gap and it respected the midpoint, therefore I'm going to take a short. That's not how I trade. This chart is on TradingView, yes. Waiting to see what the market is going to give us, absolutely. What prop firm do I use? Currently, I'm using Tradeify and Take Profit Trader and Lucid. I like Apex a lot. However, I had 20 of their accounts and I was about 800 short of a very large payout, about a $40,000 payout, and I blew them. And that was very frustrating. So I'm waiting. I said I was going to wait until a 90% off sale ran. Now here's the 90% off sale. I did not stack up on more accounts, but I'm waiting to, I'm trying to stack up, reach full allocation on these Tradeify accounts and these Take Profit accounts and Lucid accounts. And then I'm going to add Apex back into the mix. How's that London high if it was at 2:45 a.m.? You're saying because you don't, oh, so I start my indicator at 2 a.m. because that's just like with the New York AM session. We started it at 8 a.m. even though the actual official market opens at 9:30 a.m. So that's when I start marking out my levels for London. So you're asking that question because the official market open is at 3 a.m. Is that what you're asking that, Eastern time? What indicator do you use to map out Asia, London high, and all that? I have a video on this on my TikTok, but I use this indicator. It's ICT kill zone and pivots. It shows up like this, and then I use the ray tool. So I have all these. Come on, get out of here. I have all these templates preset, so I mark them out. That's the first thing I do in the morning when I sit down at the chart. I don't necessarily I don't like taking pre-market trades. I like waiting for the market to open at 9:30. Wingman, those settings are in my Discord. You can screenshot this real quick if you want that. What's up, Frankie? How's it going, man? What's up from New Zealand? What's up, man? I would love to get out there. A friend of mine, her sister lives there. It looks beautiful out there. I'd love to go. I do use VWAP. It's not something I trade solely off of, but I do use it as an added confluence. That's the VWAP right there. Well, it's not going to mark them out like this. You're going to have to use the ray tool to mark them out, but it's going to identify them with that indicator. So this indicator, if you copied those settings, it's going to look like this. There's a video, like 5 videos back on my TikTok. Go look for it. I show exactly how to do all this. Arthur, I think that's a good way to describe it. I rely heavily on the book map for order flow and momentum, but I make sense of market structure with ICT concepts. I think that's a good way to put it. I don't necessarily trade ICT, even though I use that as like a way to make sense of the candlesticks. I heavily rely on the book map, so order flow. You trading ES, NQ? Yeah, I bounce back and forth, NK. ES and NQ. Depends on what looks cleaner. What's up, Janko? How's it going, man? You're wild, dude. You got to save that energy, man. You can't release it. It's precious energy. It's powerful. What's up, Blade? How's it going, man? How long did it take you to have a trade that you did nothing wrong in? I don't even know, dude. How long you been trading? You seem to know stuff. In my bio, it says, but I've been trading over 4 years. I don't see the 90% off. What do you mean? You use code CWT and it'll apply it at checkout. If you're talking about Apex. I'm at work till 10, probably gonna stay longer to finish trading. There you go, Janko. What did I do after my first payout from props? I reinvested a lot of it. Hey, Leo, I saw that trade, man. That was nice. That was textbook sweep and a V-shaped recovery after London took that Asia low. I was watching that. Well, I watched it after I got up. I get up pretty early, so I saw that. Took that Asia low right there. Perfect little move higher. Damien, you keep saying I don't see the 90% off. I don't know where you're looking for 90% off. I'm telling you, if you apply the code CWT at checkout, it'll take 90% off of the cost of the eval. It's not like you're gonna see that. I'm telling you. You got to get to the checkout part, enter the code CWT, and you'll see where it says 90% off. The 50K account should be around $19. Just got my first funded. I got to pass this eval. What's your advice? Slow and steady, man. Hopefully you've been trading paper before you took that next step. And if you have, I would just say keep trading the way that you've been trading. Stick to your rules. Don't oversize. Don't overtrade. Chris, you got discount codes for Apex? Yeah, code CWT. Code CWT with Apex and virtually every other firm except for My Funded Futures. Funded Next and My Funded Futures are the two that I do not have an affiliation with. What do you get with your code for Apex? Right now, 90% off. Today's the last day. You'll get 90% off. And I think the activation fee is only $75 versus normally it's $140. So not a bad deal. I think it ends up being about 19 for a 50K eval and then 75 once you pass for the activation. I do have a code with Lucid too, yeah. CWT. Lucid right now, I believe, is 40% off. Yeah, 40% off any eval. Limit 5 per trader. The good thing about Apex is you can stack up to 20 funded accounts at a time. It's the only firm that allows you to stack that many. There's a lot of rules to know and to navigate, so I highly recommend before you buy an eval or before you activate a funded that you make sure that you read every single rule, specifically the scaling rule or the sizing rule and the MAE rule. Make sure you go to their page. If you're in my Discord, I have a link to all of the firm's pages that tell you their rules, and you need to make sure before you trade with any firm that you always read the rules. Because I see so many people posting that, oh, this firm's a scam or that firm's a scam when people are violating rules that are clearly stated. So make sure you always read the rules. Yeah, that is an awesome thing. NK, that is an awesome thing about Lucid. There's no time limit on the evals. Like you don't have a resubscription after 30 days or whatever. So Lucid is great for beginners for that reason. You can just take your time. I got to use the restroom real quick before the market opens here. Give me 2 seconds. I use the code with take profit and the cost is 107. Yep. That should be the 40% off with no activation fee for a 50K account. What's good with Apex? There's a lot of good things. I mean, it's the ability to scale 20 accounts. He doesn't want us hearing the quad espresso at work. Yeah, I'll keep you from that. Bonjour. Hey Chris, I'm feeling longs today. What are you feeling? I am feeling a little bullish. This 1 hour gap here throws a little bit of a wrench in the equation. We could come a little lower first and then make that move. However, I would be a little surprised if we didn't at least push up to this 50% from the previous daily candle from yesterday. But like I always say, we're just going to take what the market gives us. Are you on E-mini futures? Yeah. I use the code CWT with take profit. Yeah, Damien, that's correct. How much can you bench? Enough. I work out with 315. I don't try to max out. I have maxed out before. The most I've ever benched is 405, but currently I just usually get my workouts in with 315. I did take that short. Took a short yesterday. Screenshot of it is on my story. You trade full time? Yes. If we stay below this London low, I think we're shorting. Very well could happen. Could bounce off this hour inversion here. I mean, it doesn't seem like a lot, Kyle. But I guess maybe it is. What's up, Jay? What's up, Cuban? 320 max at 170? Dude, that's good. Very good ratio. She got a 50K for 19. Boom. There you go, Frankie. Yeah, today's the last day for that Apex deal until they run it again. Now, I don't want to mislead anybody. The way that Apex works is when one sale that they have ends, another sale usually starts. So they'll probably, after this 90% off, there won't be a sale for like a couple days, and then they'll reactivate a sale where it usually is 80% off or 70% off or something. So, but being able to get an account right now for $19 for a 50K account, it's a pretty good deal. I always want to get into trading, but then I get intimidated. Nothing to be intimidated by, man. What time do I clock in? I get up at 6 and do some work around my apartment. I sit down at the charts around 7:30 typically, and start charting things out and listen to some financial, sources and listening to people yap about the markets. So I guess that's clocking in. Hey Chris, can you give me some advice? I got a PEA and made 4,300 first day. Should I lose or keep? Cuban, what firm is that? If that's with Apex, you just created some work for yourself. There's a 30% consistency rule. Yeah, you just created a bunch of work for yourself. Is that today? Like, are those the profits today? Because if that's today, then I would say lose some of that. Intentionally lose some of that because you're going to create a lot of work for yourself. You got to pay attention to the rules. There's a 30% consistency rule for the fundeds, meaning when you at the time when you go to request a payout, no single day can equal more than 30% of that total of the total profits. Should I lose back or just make an extra 10K? Not today, but I mean, if you can consistently do that every day, if you can consistently make that, 4,300 every day, then go for it. But most likely that's not going to be an everyday occurrence. So you got to think, what is going to be a realistic number when you go to take the first payout? What's going to be a realistic one-day total that's going to keep you under the 30% mark? Are you in Eastern time zone? Yeah. Did you end up recovering all your accounts? I'm in the process. Mac, what's up, man? Was I able to get max allo? Yeah, I'm still working on it, man. I'm still working on it. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, we're on track. I mean, I've had a green day for like a week straight, not to jinx it. So I've been green, getting back to it. Do you take payouts as soon as you pass it, or do you suggest creating a larger one? I usually add 1,000 to that. So the 2K is the buffer level with TPT 50K accounts. I usually want to get the account balance to 53,000, and then I withdraw whatever my profits are above that. That gives you an extra $1,000 cushion just in case you have a really bad day or something happens. It just gives you an extra cushion so you don't have to pass the account again and build the buffer again. Just kind of saves you. Checked out Rips like you recommended. I was wondering what you look for when you watch him. I listened to his analysis, and once you've watched him for a while, Jack, you will notice when he's actually in a trade. He doesn't necessarily show you that he's in a trade, but you can hear the way you get to know him a little bit after watching him. I've been watching him for a while now, and you can understand when his demeanor changes when he's in a trade and the way he's talking about price, kind of like I do, where I'm sitting here calling out levels to you guys by watching the book map. And you can get a gauge for, after you pay attention to that for a while, you can get a gauge for what he's looking for in the way that he's trading. So that's what I pay attention to when I'm watching him. And I just turned him off right before I started the stream. He hadn't taken a trade yet today. This was not good price action for him. He's kind of just lulling around in this time zone. Call me crazy, but I'm going for longs. I don't think you're crazy for that. I mean, I think it's a very realistic possibility. I'm just not married to the idea. Can I show the book map? Let me ask you guys a question real quick. What do you think of this? Tell me if this is too cluttered. Because I was messing around with this and I can't find a good way to implement this onto TikTok. But tell me if you think this is overcrowding the screen. Would this be helpful if I did this? Or put it somewhere on the screen? Is that too overcrowded? Would it just be helpful if I just bounce back like this? Occasionally. So don't do this. Bouncing back and forth is better. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I couldn't find a good way to, I'm trying to figure out how I could get that in the chart, in the screen so you guys can see it all the time, but I can't figure out a good way to do it. Bro, you look like Logan CSO. I just can't get over it. He's a trader too. Gotta be brothers. I don't know who that is, man. But that's funny. I'll look him up after the stream. Yeah, on YouTube it is running all the time. The book map is always there. A trade order flow with a combination of ICT principles, ICT concepts. Yeah, so I'm pitching catch method, and it's been a struggle for me to learn. Yeah, it takes some time, man. It's basically looking for pullbacks. I mean, it's a continuation short or a continuation long. It's another way of saying it. And he uses different things as confluences, and he doesn't trade ICT, so he's not looking for fair value gaps or anything like that. The toilet's still running. Hang on. Trade rate's down for Lucid. It's not down on mine. Oh, for login. I'm already logged in. It looks like it's running fine. Price is keeping up with the trading view and with bookmap. What is up, man? As soon as people start switching over to Trade8, I swear to you, I've been using them for a long time, even when I was trading with Forex when I first started, and never had an issue. And then all of a sudden, in the past week or so, we've had a couple of issues with them. They need to get their stuff squared away. I'm getting same error code, but my copy trader's already logged in. I think I'm good. I don't know, Kyle. Be careful. Definitely be careful. They don't want me to get my payout. Yeah, that could be it, Saint. You could make a good point. All these people switching over to them might be overloading their servers. I think they run off of Cloudflare. I think that's who they use. Pushing up here on the book map as well. Liquidity above us. Above on NQ, below on ES. Yeah, a lot of people are saying it's down for them. It's not down for me. I've been logged into it. The price is moving fine. I'm not seeing any issues, but it sounds like people are having issues logging in. F it, we ball, as they say in my country. As someone who's about to get into trading, what is your recommendation for starting off? Spend a lot of time on YouTube, find a strategy, a philosophy that makes sense, and then paper trade for a long period of time before you spend any money. The only money you should spend is paying for live data to be able to paper trade. Do that for a month, 2 months, until you're seeing consistent positive results, and then buy a cheap eval with a company that doesn't have crazy rules. All right, let's dial it in here. We got market open in 2 minutes. Jose, what's up? Took 3 trades, risking 500 each and lost. Pre-market, man. You gotta wait for the market to open. I think that's your highest probability. I know a lot of people take pre-market trades, but I think if you're looking for high probability with good price action, I think you wait for the best odds or wait for the New York session to open. Don't overtrade though. Oh, you're in England. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that sweep of Asia low and then the move higher was a perfect London trade. Not the Monday morning quarterback. I'm not trying to rub salt in the wound. That sucks, man. But if you're limited, if you stopped, you didn't overtrade, you didn't break any of your rules, I don't necessarily think that that's a terrible. Obviously, it sucks to lose, but if you followed your rules and didn't overtrade and didn't do, anything wrong on paper, then you can only be but so mad at that. All right, here we go. 30 seconds. Let's dial it in. Everybody focus. Five seconds. Good luck, everybody. 5 minis up to the upside here. And stopped out. Just kidding. Lazarus is locked in. Hard push lower here. A lot of liquidity down here for us to potentially suck up. My TradeVate logged me out and can't log back in. Internal server error. What is going on? A lot of people having issues with TradeVate right now. A lot of people. Mine is still fine. Hopefully it stays that way. Short to TP, boom. There you go, Saint. They need to get their shit together, man. This is not acceptable. Costing people money. Am I up on the month so far? Yeah. 2 days in. 2 trading days in. Strong pushback there. I don't see us going higher here without sweeping that London low. That would be really weird. Yeah, Nicholas. NQ still hasn't taken London low. ES book map has been messy. It's an interesting. It's the 5-minute orb strategy. I see what you're doing, Nicholas. I don't personally trade that. I also don't currently trade the London session, so I'm not sure about the probability with that. It's so weird how ES is not wanting to take that low. This is doing what I thought it was going to do, where I said it was going to take a low and then go higher, but it didn't take the low yet. It didn't take this PM low. I thought we were going to take some of this and then go higher. ES is pumping. Getting ready to tap the VWAP here on NQ. Tapped into that 1 hour inversion and rejected. I don't have a clear direction here, guys. Just made 1,500 on that move. Second day unfunded. 3 more days of 150 to make a payout. There you go, Xander. Nice work, man. What am I trading here? This is futures, so we're bouncing back and forth between NASDAQ and S&P 500 futures. How long did it take you for your first payout? So I traded for a number of years on Forex and other instruments before I discovered prop firms. But after I discovered prop firms was in October of 2024. And then by February of 2025, I took my first payout. Heard the hesitation in my breathing. I was sending a text. PMI at 10. Yeah, I don't know if you guys if my videos are being shadow banned or what. My views are way down on the videos that I post, but I posted a video this morning about the government being reopened and how the news was going to happen and what is scheduled for the rest of the week. Yeah, Zach, a lot of people are having issues with Tradevate right now. Not sure what their deal is, man. What do I recommend is I just started a funded account. Need to phase a challenge. Phase a challenge is a good strategy. The continuation model has been playing out very well recently, Nicholas. The sweep, I'll show you this while we're kind of waiting for. I'm not interested in this. This is very wiki at the moment. I'm not sure what exactly we want to do here, but I'll show you what I would have traded if I was trading London session. Sorry for anybody who's. We're gonna do a little tutorial here. So you had Asia low here. I would have had that marked out. Let's see. I put that at 6 a.m. Asia high was here. So what London did was London immediately came down, opened, took this Asia high, came up a little higher, and took this PM high from the lunch session in New York. At that point, I would have been eyeballing a reversal. So what you could have done was you were trading. Yeah, you would have been trading at this time. So what my thinking would have been after we swept these levels, you almost have a breaker in here. You almost have a very clean setup. Break a structure here to the downside would have been something I was targeting, this London low, or this Asia low. Sweep of a key level, break a structure, targeting the opposing liquidity. What would have been a really juicy trade, and it sounded like some people in here got in on, was the sweep of this Asia low. And I would have been targeting a swing high. So this swing high here, after we took that Asia low, took this Asia low here, tapped into clearly a point of rejection. We've been rejecting off of this level right here multiple times. I'd have been looking for an inversion at that point. There's a gap in here that we inverted. We created a gap and inverted a gap. We got a 1 minute that gets inverted right here to the upside, gets disrespected, created another gap right here to the upside. I would have taken an entry around this level. Probably the book map would have been lit up to the upside in this case. Obviously, this is all Monday morning quarterbacking, but this is the trade setup I would have been looking for. After this sweep of this London low, you got consolidation. I would have been targeting this swing high. So I think a trade like that would be interesting to take. I'd be really interested in taking this short after we took that lunch high and the Asia high. I mean, clear pullback and a dump here. You had all this sell side liquidity built up. Low resistance sell side liquidity, sweep of a key level, V-shaped recovery, pull back into a gap. Would have been a nice short to take. Verse of the day, therefore, this is Matthew 7:16. Therefore, whatever you want men to do to you, do also to them. For this is the law and the prophets. T-Trades. Go look at T-Trades page on YouTube, Nicholas. And he teaches that strategy. I mean, that's one of the most basic ICT strategies. You're looking for a sweep of a key level, V-shaped recovery. You're looking for a confluence with a gap to trade out of. Stops would have been below the swing low. One of the most basic introductory ICT models to trade. You got news here in 16 minutes. Done for the day, Saint? Nice. You hit it that short, right? Did I miss the verse of the day? I just read it. I don't know if you were in here when I just read it. Matthew 7:12. Therefore, whatever you want men to do to you, you also do to them. Do also to them, for this is the law and the prophet and the prophets. There was a better verse that I saw earlier that I read. Not that that's not a good verse, but Psalms 34:14. Turn from evil and do good. Seek peace and pursue it. You done, Zach? Can't get TradeAvate to work. I think that taking the trade too early often brought me problems with getting stopped out early. Yeah, I like to let the market settle and kind of choose a direction. I don't like to predict it. I like to react to whatever it wants to give me. So I think patience is definitely key. It's better to miss a trade than to take a trade and get stopped out and lose money. Trading View's acting up as well. My Trading View's not. My TradeAvate's fine and my Trading View's fine. I'm lucky right now. Yeah, no problem, Nicholas. I pay and these bastards keep shutting down everything. Dude, this is not normal for TradeAvate, man. I'm telling you, I've been trading with them for a long time. I've been using their platform for a long time. This is not normal. So, I hate this for the people who just switched over. Reload TradeAvate, I thought mine was fine too. Now you got mine messed up. I hit the refresh button and now it's not. Shouldn't have hit the refresh button because it's looking fine. But honestly, I'm hesitant to take a trade if it is messed up. It's like Kyle. Kyle says his top step is working fine. Mine looked fine, and then I tried to place a trade and it wouldn't fill. Well, I guess I'm SOL then. This isn't anything I want to trade. We also have news in 13 minutes, so hopefully it can get resolved that quickly. $25,400. Hey, this is not going to dissuade me from TradeAvate. What do you think about Top Step setting restrictions on GC and other metals? I think it's good. I think it's protecting the people who are unable to protect themselves. I mean, if you think about it, it's kind of interesting because people blowing accounts actually makes them more money. So it does show a little bit of a care for their customers because, you know, it'd actually be in their favor not to set those restrictions unless they're doing so because they're getting taken to the cleaners with the payouts, which I don't think is the case for most of them. I think it's mostly because people are just blowing accounts. Passed my phase one today. What's a phase one? Why do I think that 95% of traders lose? Because they can't sit on their hands. Honestly, two things. They can't sit on their hands and they don't stop when they're ahead or stop when they're when they're taking a couple of losses. Either they're up and they get their profits back, or they're red and they make it way worse and end up blowing accounts. But it all boils down to not being able to sit on your hands. I was asleep in the orb hit. Well, you would have been able to take it on paper, but apparently the trading platforms are down right now. Trade8. Can't be sleeping, Matthew, man. This is why I'm up at 6 o'clock every day, man. A recipe for success. You got to be waking up early, get your day started, get your ass in gear, get moving. Money to be made, man. You're long in it, yes. What was your reason for the trade, Nicholas? Nicholas, I would say that I don't recommend doing that, because look at what we haven't done yet. What is the key element for what I was just calling out to you earlier? What's the key thing that you need before you can start getting interested in looking for a trade? The key thing that you need that has not happened yet. Buffoonery is what this is. I love that word, Blade. Haven't swept London high. Sweep of a high or a low. There you go. Need a sweep. Need a sweep. Right now, you're just in the middle of this range. You're just in the middle of this range right here. You're literally smack dab in the middle of it. Not a high probability location to get into a trade. This is the 5, same. You still using the checklist indicator? I'm not, no. You still, even if you're going to use an S&T, you still want to sweep of a key level. You can't just, S&T in and of itself is not something that just take a random trade off of. You need that in conjunction with other things. I've gotten no notification from any of these firms that Trade8's down, which is interesting. We got news here in 7.5 minutes. The status page says they're good. Definitely not loading. Look at this short playing out for you, Nicholas. Here's the book map. NQ book map. Are you showing your trade, or are you just talking while taking a secret trade? No, I haven't taken anything, man. I showed my trades. I have nothing to hide. Email, they just emailed you? Let's see. They have not emailed me. Weird. Did you close the trade right after I said that? It's fine, man. Again, you want to take high price. Just because something would have played out doesn't mean that it was a good idea to take it. A trade taken that breaks rules or doesn't follow a set checklist, even if it would have made money, to me is not necessarily a good thing. If you break rules and make money, to me, that's not a good thing. News in 6 minutes, 7 minutes, no, excuse me, 5 minutes and 15 seconds. Does it mean, that's a good question, Nick. Does the heat on the book map mean resistance lower to hold price? No, it's typically a level of attraction. So it could be that price goes to that level and bounces off it. In that case, that would be resistance. But a lot of times what you'll see is that'll create momentum through that level. So if you see that there's a level that is extremely lit up, and leading up to that, there's also a bunch of bright colors, if you will, that means that there's most likely going to be momentum created through that level. What you mean, Rocky? Technical issue with trade evade. Yep, you're right. So I can't even trade. Oh, the exact, you want to see the exact level of where this is marked out here? 69.3250. Right here. This is the 5-minute candle from 4:40 a.m. Yours is working? Mine still isn't. Oh, maybe. My page just refreshed. Let's see. Nope, still not working on TradingView. My page did refresh over here, though. The TradeAbate website did refresh. This is a yes right here. Yeah, we're watching it. It's okay. Plenty of trading to be had. Nicholas, why didn't you take this short, man? I'm just kidding, dude. You're not an idiot. What you're looking for now is potentially a V-shaped recovery or a continuation short lower. It's working now. Nice. Hey, we're up $3 on the day, guys. All right, news here in 10 seconds. Let's see what happens. You gonna print? It's good for the dollar, slightly better than forecasts. We'll see if that has a positive effect here. Strong sells here. Samir, what's going on, man? It's a perfect trade, Bryson. I'm making too many profit in the sell. Very nice, Nick. Yeah, we're going to get in on this short here in a minute. See where this wants to go. See if we can get something to trade off of here. Clean some of this up. See what we got. Did I get your email? Let's see. Spam folder, maybe? Yes, I did, in my spam folder. Let's see. Yes, I got it. Appreciate that, Pete. I'll let you know. I'm going to throw that into the Pine script here and see if it'll let me make it work. There you go, Saint. Nice work, man. All right, Cam, take it easy, man. 350 short on the news. 1K till my buffer's gone. Very nice work. Hope class goes well. Trade debate is back. Man, I'm a little chilly. You guys mind if I put a little sweatshirt on here? There we go. How to add Apex Tradevate to TradingView again. You got to go into the settings tab on Tradevate and go into add-ons and then activate TradingView and then log in. Should have held my short. Hey, you made money, Pete. Made money. Tapped into that 5 minute, rejected right out of it. I'm not sure, VC. Do you have live data? A lot of orders stacked up here in this area at this 100 level. Been stacked there. Not convinced that it's going to go there, but it's interesting to keep an eye on. Yeah, that's the ES book map. Let's see how if we invert this 5, it looks like we're through it on ES, or we're getting through it, pushing through the CE of it. At 50 seconds till this 5 minute candle closes. Benjamin, what's up? I only have 500 drawdown left. Drop down, lower your sizing. Take A+ setups. For how long have you been trading? Going on 5 years, over 4 years now. Coming up to the VWAP here on ES. 13 seconds until these gaps, until these 5-minute candle closes. Did not invert on NQ. Barely inverted on ES. Did invert a 4, I believe, though. No, we didn't invert the 4 or the 3. Did invert a 2. And we're going to stay patient. No inverse, no trade. Did I take a trade yesterday? I did. Wanted to see an inverse of this 5. Target these highs. I feel like one day you're going to stop trading ICT. I use order flow very heavily, man. The order flow is not completely clear to the upside right here. We got a lot of we've got a lot of market orders coming in here that are kind of holding price down in into these 20s or wanting to go into these 20s. So see how ES just bounced off that VWAP. Talking about for a short, Bryson? Yeah, I see how we're now blew back through those 20s down lower. Pushing back up to the VWAP here on ES. What even is that for real? Arthur, I feel like you've been in here before. This is Bookmap, man. That's a data feed that gets projected to my computer from Tel Aviv. It's very exclusive. You got to know people. He's tapped with the tunnel, man. That's funny. You had a rough morning. What happened, Leroy? What's VWAP? Volume weighted average price. Exactly, Jay. Woke up 5 minutes before class, missed my alarm, somehow got there in time. Class canceled. That sucks. This is why waking up early is so important, man. I know I'm not, it took me a long time to get used to doing it, but it's so beneficial. What's my bias? Well, my pre-market analysis was that we were going to come down and sweep some levels and then go higher. I wanted to see us push at least to this 50% of the daily candle from yesterday. So right now we've done the first part of that equation, but we have not pushed higher yet. We could just continue lower. There's a lot of liquidity right here. What I'd like to see here is I'd like to try to potentially get in on a long, at least to the VWAP, but I need the book map to cooperate with me, telling me that's what price wants to do before I'm willing to take a chance on that. Yeah, 5 minutes holding strong. Pushing back down now. At 200 levels holding. ES barely inversed it. Pushing higher now. ES is pushing, NQ is not. Be up 30K if I held my trade from last night on silver. It would have been a good trade, man. About to limit myself to one trade a day. I think it's a good idea, Matthew, especially when you're first starting. PJ did a thing one time. He told me to take one trade a day for a month and see how you do. And I actually had some really good results doing that. Rejected right off that VWAP. So price likes to return to VWAP. So if we're trading underneath VWAP, you can kind of theoretically, you would think that we would trade up to it, reject off of it. But if we see that we completely blow through it, it then becomes, it can kind of be used as a level of support instead of a level of resistance. You trade for the low of the game or for the money. I love this stuff, man. If it was simply about money, I would have quit a long time ago. Yeah, I'm not sure what this wants to do. Need another drink. Oh. I haven't been able to find a trade in days. I can't tell if I'm not seeing stuff or what. It's better than taking bad setups, man. It's like that sometimes. It's like that. Buy me a 50K? Why would I do that? If you're too, and I don't mean this to be disparaging of anyone that's struggling with money, because I've been there, but if you don't have enough money to buy a 50K account, you should not be trading. You should be working. Got greedy? What happened, Mark? Gonna hop off here, don't see my setup. Smart. Samir, that's smart. I love that, man. I love the discipline. Love having you guys here. Love everybody being here and watching, but I love when people say, not seeing what I want to see, I'm gonna just call it a day. Because that's how a real trader should trade, man. That's discipline. Prevents you from forcing something that's not there and losing money. This is the 5 minute. If we go down below the 1 minute FEG, let's short. I need more confidence in that. There's always PM session. Exactly, man. I didn't catch a trade until 2 o'clock yesterday, and it was a banger. Did you take PJ's mentorship? He doesn't sell a mentorship, but when he was first starting his Discord, I was in there and learned a lot from him. And I got to know him before he blew up, so that was kind of cool because it was more of a personal experience than, I don't know what it's like now. I would imagine he's still pretty personal, but he got to work with me pretty closely on some things, and that helped me out a lot. Yeah, call it a day, Matthew. Make sure you're journaling too, man. I know that's boring and it's annoying, but it's super important. It's super important. What is journaling? Journaling is after you're done trading, immediately writing down many different aspects of the session, even if you didn't take a trade. What did you see? What did you feel? What was price doing? What were the key levels that got swept? Just different things. I have a journal template in my Discord if you want to use it, kind of as like just as a template to kind of give you an idea of what I journal. ES is pushing hard off of that inversion. The respected CE of that 5 minute would have been a good long. Maybe I shouldn't have been so dialed in on NQ here. Not yet, Nelson. Now that we're going to potentially invert this 5, we got 5 seconds till the candle closes. I want to see a retest. I want it to come back in here. Still haven't gotten a retest here. Bookmap's just pumping. It's teasing me. Just lost 450. How'd you do that? All right, we'll give this a shot here. It might dig a little deeper. My stop's going to be just below this this accumulation. I'm going to take profits at the VWAP. What's up, man? Banked 1K, nice. Very nice. We'll see how this plays out. Some would say this was the accumulation, that was the manipulation, and we'll get the distribution to the downside. Hopefully that's not the case. If this doesn't give me a strong reaction here soon, then I'm going to take the little bit of profit that I have here. Need to push through this 60 level. Not liking how the formation's coming on the book map. Need to push through these 50s and strong into the 60s. Yeah, the volume on the book map is not, the sellers are doing too much, if you will. This volume to the downside is not looking good. ES is tapping back into that 5. See if that gives us the rejection here that we need to go higher. Bookmap volume's looking atrocious to the downside here for this trade. All right, Matthew, have a good one, man. Strong rejection back to the teens there. Push up through those 20s. There we go. Into the 20s. No, back to the teens. Push up. Yeah, there you go. Keep going. Get the magnet out. The ES is rejected off that 5 pretty well. We'll see what happens here. I'm not liking how this is going. A lot of volume to the downside on NQ bookmap. Need a strong push through these teens. CBD is very bearish, yeah. Negative 5,500. Yeah, this is not looking good. We'll see. This is getting ready to tank. I can feel it. Completely disrespected that 5. I'm going to close it right there. This is what I'm seeing on the book map. This is getting ready to just shoot down to this level. Yeah, see. Would have gotten stopped out. All right, now we reassess. One account, Ballas. 949. Let's see what it wants to do now. Now we full port the next one. No. It does look good down to 25,100 though, but we're just going to stay patient. Yeah, I'm not stressing that at all. It's a 150K account. I'm up in that account pretty heavily right now, so. Little potato. My stop was just below this wick right here, so definitely would have gotten stopped if I hadn't closed that. Would have lost another 200 or 300. Full port short. No, this is, the book map is lit up to the downside here, man. Lit up all the way down to 25,100. So starting to look like that was the AMD. You're in shirts? Yeah, Cam, we got stopped out. I took a 5-minute, took a tap of this 5-minute gap that was in here. Longed off of it. It was right in here. 5-minute inversion to the upside. Went into profit slightly, got stopped, and didn't get stopped out. Closed it down here before I got stopped out. Reassessing. I am also in a shirt. I'm not in a shirt, not even pants, just a thong. You're retarded, man. How much does Bookmap cost a month? About 100 all in with the data and with the subscription for Global Plus. Might take an ayahuasca retreat because of his PA. Hey man, whatever works. What's Bookmap? It's the thing that I keep showing on the screen. This. I love the group we have here. Look at this push off of that. What's your opinion on scalping and pass evals? I like scalping. Is this rejecting off of that 1-minute inversion? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Somebody was long off of this 5-minute on ES with stops just below it, got wicked out, and they're pissed right now. Was that news? Not that I see. Yeah, everybody and their mom just got stopped out on that. I love 100-point candles, yeah. 139-point candle, actually. Alpha decay, man. Alpha decay. Blade, I hate that for you, man. Have a good day, though. Try to, at least. Just going to take the loss. Yeah, not a bad idea, King. Don't force something that's not there. I don't feel bad about the trade I took. I was patient, waited for it, was very specific about what I was looking for. If we had taken it on ES, that would have been the ideal move. Up the inversion up to the VWAP, which was up here at that point, would have been... ES has been moving decent the past couple of days. This obviously sucks right here, but... So close to passing the account. Don't force it, man. Don't create more work for yourself. Take a trade here. You first, man. Gonna use your code for Lucid. Are the evaluations good to start? Yeah, dude. I like the Lucid Flex accounts a lot. Yeah, I would have taken that too, Blade. I mean, obviously, I'm pretty selective about my trades, so definitely not. I'm not upset about that. ES seems to not be controlled by the tiny hats. I think they're more so. What's your biggest losing streak and how did you handle it? I had a pretty bad little tilt day not too long ago, man. I made a video about it. I made a couple of videos about it. I was a couple $100 away from a $40,000 payout and I ended up blowing it all. That was pretty rough. Lost about $39,000 in one day. Is Trump talking? Is that why this is acting funky? I don't see him talking anywhere. If he is, he's not being shown. Had 18K on 5 Tradeify growth and blew them all in the last winning day. It happens, man. I mean, those are what do you call them? Those are not capstone events, but like, can't even think of the word. Character buildings, yeah, that's one way to put it. Canon, that's the word, you're right. Canon event. Yeah, it's definitely a canon event. Trump said he had a positive call. Was that a tweet? Why am I not getting his tweets? What is my indicator? I don't have an indicator on right now, man. There's no literally not one indicator. Well, there's a VWAP with that little blue line, but there's no indicator turned on. I usually get his truths when he says something. I didn't get anything. Why couldn't he have said that 6 minutes ago? I had an excellent phone call with G. It was a long and thorough call where my important subjects were discussed, including trade, military, and the April trip that I will be making to China, Taiwan, and the war between Russia and Ukraine, the current events, the current situation with Iran, the purchase of oil and gas by China from the United States, the consideration by China of the purchase of additional agricultural products, including lifting the soybean count to 20 million tons for the current season, airplane engine deliveries, and the numerous other subjects, all very positive. The relationship with China and my personal relationship with Xi is an extremely good one, and we both realize how important it is to keep it that way. I believe that there will be many positive results achieved over the next 3 years having to do with President Xi and the People's Republic of China. I like that. I like the way that sounds. Surprised that didn't actually have more of a positive effect. I think, Wall, I know some people who have been in that same scenario, man. It happens. Crawling back out is the key part of that. You're telling me Trump stopped me out? Hey, welcome to the club, man. If you haven't been stopped out by Trump, you haven't been trading long enough. It's happened to me, but I have to be honest. It's also happened in a good way too before, where I've hit TP. I've opened a trade before, and before I could even like move my cursor from clicking the button, I hit TP from something that he said. So I've had it go both ways for me. What do you think of TGR Bootcamp? Is it good for beginners? I think there's some elements of it that are very beneficial. I think there's other sources. It depends on your age and what learning style you have. For me, the antics get a little old. I like TJR a lot. I think he'd be fun to hang out with. He seems like actually like a guy that probably has a pretty good heart. But I think in terms of my learning style, I do better with a more serious environment, a more matter-of-fact, straightforward, serious environment. Professional, I guess is the word for it. But again, I think that's just due to my age. Obviously, I'm a little older. All right, Kyle, have a good workout, man. Thanks for being here, man. Appreciate you. Boomstick. It's easy to look at it from the outside, man, but I 100% understand where he's coming from. When you're in it and you have the resources to be able to do what he's talking about doing, it's really hard to force yourself to not just continuously go back for more, go back for more, go back for more, and it adds up quick. Next thing you know, you're sitting there activating past accounts, like funds that you've blown, and if you're doing that with TPT, man, it's like $600 to $1,000 per activation. That adds up quick. So it's an easy cycle to get into when you have the means to do it. Just made $700 first trade ever on soybean futures. I love that, dude. Smart. Stuck out in the oil field so I can go back to work if I need to. Nothing to do. Yeah, definitely feel you on that. Lindley, what up? Let's look at soybean. I've never even looked at soybean futures. What would that even be called? I guess just soybean. Yeah, soybean futures. Look at that. Yo. That is hilarious. That is absolutely hilarious, dude. Why didn't I think of that? Dude, that is awesome. This is Trump talking about China buying more soybeans. He's getting ready to rug pull. He's getting ready to tweet. Somebody open a short. He's getting ready to say something. I'm just kidding. I retract my previous tweet. Zoom. Just dumps. This is soybean futures. This is after Trump just tweeted that China's going to be buying more soybeans. Can you see soybean on Bookmap? You wouldn't have been able to see this coming. I mean, I'm sure you can. You got to pay for different data sets, so I'm not even sure what data that would be under. Like gold and silver's under COMEX. I'm not sure what soybeans would be under. That's hilarious. That is so funny. You think 1K is enough to start trading? You shouldn't be trading with your own personal capital. You need to look into prop firms. Prop firms are where, well, you should start on paper when you actually start clicking the buttons, and then you should switch to, after you've developed a strategy that works and has been effective for a couple months, then you get a prop firm account. You should not be trading your own personal capital, in my opinion, unless you've been taking payouts consistently for 9 to 12 months. Yeah, it doesn't make me that way either, Bryson. We did, Joy. Yeah, we took this long off this 5 minute. Let's see. There was a 5 minute in here. This 5 minute gap. And then when it got inverted, I'll show you exactly. We got in off the inversion here, and then we closed the trade before we got stopped out. I had my stop just below this. It was long right here. We're targeting the swing high. Had stops just below there, but I closed it earlier because I could see the book map. The book map was just ended up getting lit up to the downside. So that was the idea. Matter of fact, I'll screenshot this so I can post it. How do prop firms work? So a prop firm works like this. You pay for an evaluation and you just can select the account size, and there's different accounts that have different rules, different hell trade. Thank you, Lucas. The different account sizes, different rules, different things. So you find one that fits the parameters for your trading style. You pay, typically it's around $50, $100, depending on the firm and the account. You have to hit a target profit. You have to follow certain rules, and you're limited on the amount of money you can lose. If you lose a certain amount of money, you blow the account, you have to start over. If you hit the profit target, then you get moved to a funded account. Once you get the funded account, you have to reach a buffer threshold, and then everything above that threshold is withdrawable once you've met certain criteria. That's basically the very simplistic way to describe it. Obviously, there's more rules and stuff inside of that explanation, but that's the general idea. So it prevents you from taking that $1,000 that you have and putting all of it at risk. Instead of that, you could take 100 of it and only risk 100, and you'd have like a $50,000 account to trade. All right, Leroy, take it easy, man. No, if you lose the money, you just blow the account. You got to start over. You don't owe money. Just lose that account, and then you got to buy a new one. Apex code, yeah, CWT. Today's the last day to get 90% off, I believe, for Apex. Took a partial. There you go. At least you're green. I trade both, Lucas. Trade both. This was on a actually an eval. It's going to keep dumbing. Book map's lit up to the downside here. Here's the book map for anybody still looking, wondering what's going on. I don't trust this price action. Yeah, I got some take profit accounts. A couple of select accounts as well. All right, guys, pushing up on 11 here, so I'm going to call it. Got to eat, hit the gym, head to class. I like take profit a lot, yeah. Didn't you just cut off your beard? I did. It grows back, man. It grows quick. Appreciate you guys being here. Appreciate the engagement, the follows, the gifts, everything. Love you guys. Take care. Have a good day. Stay blessed. Stay safe. We'll be back tomorrow, 9 a.m. Actually, let me correct that. No stream tomorrow. I have class, 8 a.m. class, and it has been running late, so I don't like having to rush home and get on the stream and do all that. So tomorrow, no stream, but we'll be back Friday, business as usual, and we'll go from there. Just follow me. I'm stoked to learn more. Hey, appreciate that, Chris. Appreciate you being here, man. We'll see you guys on Friday. Have a good day.